Hello. Today we're going to be working with understanding relations and functions. And if you have been with me through the previous few videos, you will have already seen some of this, but we're going to put it all together now. So a relation is a set of ordered pairs, x and y, where x is the input value and y is the output value. The domain is all possible inputs of a relation, and the range is all possible outputs of a relation. For example, a given relation represents the number of whole wheat cracker boxes sold and the money earned. And so it comes up with a set of data. We have 1, 4, 2, 8, 3, 12, and 4, 16. Because we have a relation and we know that our input value is our x's. If we just list our x values, 1, 2, 3, and 4, that is our domain. It's all that's listed. Our range is all of our y values. And so if we look at our y values, we have 4, 8, 12, and 16. So this actually should be 4, 8, 12, and 16. And so this is our range. For the following relation, the input x is the age of boys and the output y is their corresponding height in inches. And we're going to fill these values into the table. We'd like to put them in numerical order, so if they're not in numerical order, you can always rearrange them. So my x value is 7 and my y value is 41. And I'm just going to finish filling in this table. Okay, and now we're going to plot those points on our graph. So we have 741, just a little above the 40, and 845, okay, and now that we've done this, now we have some questions. Is it linear? Possibly. We have a little question here. So if I were to look at these two, if I did a vertical line test, we notice that these two are on the same input. Also, I saw it here. The input of 10 has 2 outputs, so this is not a function. We can even do the mapping diagram with the same information. We have 7 to 41, 8 was to 45, 9 was to 49, 10 was 52, 10 was also to 53, 11 was to 55, and 12 was to 59. The domain of the relation is the x values. And the range is my y values. I can squeeze it in. So that is the range of this relation. It is possible to have a relation, but not be a function. A function is a type of relation in which there is only one output value for each input value. For every input value, there is a unique and single output value. In the example, x y equals x squared. When x is 3, y will be equal to 9. It has one unique value. I can give the domain and range of each relation and state the corresponding outputs for the given points in context and explain whether the relation is a function. So in this table, my domain is my x values, so I have 40, 45, and 50. The range is my y values, 2, 3, and 4. So the domain is the number of students, the range is the number of classrooms. Even if I did it this way, I have 40, 45, and 50, 40, 45, and 50. Because there is exactly one output for every input, this is a function. And each domain value is paired with exactly one range value in each case. We're given this one. The given relation represents the amount of gas in gallons and the distance traveled in miles from that amount of gas. What is the domain? Remember, the domain is my x values, so it's going to be 10, 16, 17, and 20. The domain represents the number of gallons of fuel. So the number of gallons of gas. The relation, the range is my y values. So it is 150, 240, 240, and then 300. Because 240 was already listed once, it does not need to be listed again. The range is the distance in miles. So the number of miles. This relation is or is not a function. Is not. Oh, it is. Because I have one input, each one has an output. So it is a function. Each domain value is paired with one range value. Give the domain and range of each relation and interpret them in context. State the corresponding outputs for the given inputs in context and explain whether the relation is a function. So the table tells me that the number of books are sold. That's my x value or my input. My output is the price of those books. They give me the information in a table, in a graph, and in a mapping diagram. So my domain is what? Okay. It represents number of books sold. My range and it represents is this a function? Yes, it's a function. Okay, here we're talking about the vertical line test. We've done that previously, but we'll go through it again. if I were to do the vertical line test, and I'm coming down, I see that each point is, there's only 1 point per line, and so that's telling me that for each input there is exactly one output. This is an example of a function. When I use the vertical line test on these, if I come straight down with my vertical lines, is it crossing the line at more than 1 point, each vertical line? And the answer should be no. It's only crossing it once, so this is a function. If I look at number 7, and I do my vertical line test, am I crossing the line once or twice? Because I'm crossing it twice, is it a function or not a function? You're correct, it's not a function. And last examples, these are on your notes. Please go ahead and fill out the table, create your graph and your mapping diagram, and then let me know what the domain is, what the range is, and is it a function? Okay? If you have any questions, please see your teacher.